Did you iron a newspaper?
No, we don't know. I mean, people do still do that, but no, I did not do that.
Well,
would you like me to come around and
you're
iron
just
your newspapers?
basically a skivvy, aren't you, in a suit? I'm rewatching Downton Abbey at the moment.
Yes.
And, compared to some, they serve these really extravagant meals upstairs, and then when it shows them eating downstairs, it's just a load of bread and butter and, broth and...
Cheap.
Yeah, and stews and soups. I'd be happy with that.
You'd be very happy.
Oh, I've said it before, I'll say it, just bread and butter.
If you had to do any role in a aristocratic household, like Downton, like valet, butler, cook, what would you be?
I think I'd be a good valet.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this the day to say that with that colour combination you've got going on?
I'm a bit clumsy, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, my lord? Yeah. Start combing his hair with clothes brush, like in Monaco. Yeah, I'd like to...
I think, yeah.
Or I'd be a Mrs. Patmore.
The cook?
Hey, my gum, I'm sweating cobs, I am. Yeah. Love Mrs. Patmore.
Go upstairs and serve everyone your corned beef hash.
I just watched the episode, the scene with Anna, and it's not. Oh. It's off. Didn't that cause loads of controversy?
Well, it did, because, Downton is generally a light, fluffy programme that doesn't necessarily do those sort of issues.
It was awful. It ruined I remember, because this is the third time I'm watching it now, and I remembered, I went, gas, because I remembered before what was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so you're going to be a valet.
Yeah, what would you be?
What would the butler?
You'd be the... Oh, yeah, you would be.
Yeah, it'd have to be the
butler.
top of the tree.
Carson, I've said this last week, didn't I? I forgot. I didn't realise how camp he was.
Well, that's why I'd be good.
I know. Oh, my Lord. He just rolls his eyes at everything.
Do you know I worked as an under-butler for a very brief period of time?
I do remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell everybody about this.
Well, I can't go into massive detail, but...
Who was it for?
Well, I can't go into massive detail.
Was it for a prominent family?
Yes. I was... a friend/colleague of mine was actually the butler somewhere. And the under-butler that they had permanently was on sabbatical. And they were told that they had some very important guests coming. Quite last minute, and thus they needed help. So I got a phone call saying, did I want to do it? So for a couple of weeks I went and was under butler.
Did you live there?
Yeah. Because it's in the middle of nowhere, so you can't commute.
And how was that?
It was really good. And do you know what, actually, talking of Downton Abbey, it was just after Series 1, before Series 2, and I hadn't watched it the first time around when it was on TV. I had bought the DVD. That ages me. I bought the DVD and was watching it when I went to bed at night, and it was amazing because I was sort of watching Downton Abbey at night in bed and then doing Downton Abbey in reality,
IRL.
Going into the silver pantry, setting these beautiful tables. It was amazing.
So what was his job to do? Set the table? Did you polish the silver?
Yeah, all that sort of thing, yes.
See, and I'll go into detail. As if people still need butlers and stuff. The Queen, fair enough, have a butler. Yeah. Yeah,
there was... So I started on the Monday, and on the Wednesday we had two very important members of the royal family come for lunch. And...
Shut the front door, really?
Yes. And I was in charge of setting the table, so I did a table for 30, which was very nice, with the stick, all nice. So that was nice, and then I served. We had to do dress rehearsals, obviously. We weren't actually dressed. I mean, I say that we were naked, but, we were just in sort of regular clothes. We weren't in our suits.
In this day and age?
Well, it's 2011. It was great fun. And then organising things and putting things away. And there were other duties then afterwards, after the lunch.
Oh.
And beyond. It was excellent fun. I mean, it was an amazing opportunity.
Did you not want to go into life in service?
I've toyed about it. And yeah, I have toyed about it, and particularly at 16, just before I got my GCSE results, and I know this will come as a shock to you, I think I've talked about it before, I wasn't naturally very academic. I was quite good at English, but other than that, I was sort of a very average student.
Same.
And I wasn't convinced that I was going to get any GCSEs. I actually did quite well at my GCSEs to progress to A-level, so I thought, well, I'll go and become a butler. I hadn't started teaching etiquette at this point. It was only a couple of months before that happened. But I was interested in it. So I did want to become a butler.
Did you iron a newspaper?
No, we don't know. I mean, people do still do that, but no, I did not do that.
Well...
Would you like me to come around and iron your
You're just
newspapers?
basically a skivvy, aren't you, in a suit?
You're not a skivvy in a suit.
That's what a butler is,
No,
isn't
because
it?
I think there is a great This is what people don't
seat.
get, and I think actually Downton helped with this. Is there is a great understanding. The upstairs needs the downstairs as much as the downstairs needs the upstairs, and you do sort of work as one. And you're probably
But
closer.
don't I'm under no illusion. We don't do politics, but I'm under no illusions. Downton Abbey is, it's
the TV program.
It wasn't like that. Like how nice they are to downstairs. I can't imagine it being.
They weren't mean to them, because if you were mean to your staff, your staff left, so you wanted to keep your staff. The staff were probably related to all the other staff and people in the village. It was a small community, and you lived with them. You had to be nice to the people you lived with. And also, the older, so it's very deep. The older generations of that era, the sort of old money, quote unquote, grew up with staff and knew how to treat staff. Whereas the issues that we now get in my other job is that normally it's sort of first generation wealth who then take on staff who don't quite know what the role is or how to treat them, and that's normally when issues arise.